It's 16-0.
Oh.
He's going to take it. He's going to take it. Oh, fuck.
Oh, we're good. We got it.
I was happy to block him.
Ready? 60 or.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On second down, Eckler. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. They're going to look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping.
This is caught inside the 15. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 56 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Here we go.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him.
He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Down. 10-2, sir. You're out. Switch.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Let's go now. 15 line. 15 line. To the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's get it down.
2nd and 4. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 26. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Go! 91.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now Eckler, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
He'll look to throw, and he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown. Hunter Henry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Love. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Chargers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Gets it to his running back, Bernard. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, standing just outside his own goal line. This is taken at the 23. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Love. That's complete to John Ross. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Operating from the gun. Love. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 37-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up. Now.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
Set.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. He'll look to throw. Going for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
A 42-yard attempt.
Badgley able to knock this one through, and that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And this is going to be a Charger touch. Down. Badgley on for the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more.
Makes the score Chargers 31, Bengals nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there halftime, actually.
You think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
First throw now for the backup Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Brady going to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
49 to Mike. Watch 49. Bud. Mike's 49. 72.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brady into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. There he goes right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
61, matchbox, right.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 22 yards there, a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Gordon on first down. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Gordon as they go to him again.
You ain't going nowhere.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, you stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Gordon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Double. Hey, switch gears.
On 2nd down, it's Jackson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 10. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now, the Bengals on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Bernard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Chargers in good field position to start out, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's Gordon. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Gordon. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for L.A. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that.
And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Uchenna Nwosu. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use him at this point. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
And watch that. Hey, what's the ball? Take 4, take 4.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, It's Gordon, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think time of